Hey, what's up, folks? Today we're going to take a look at the Justice Judge, otherwise known as Judge Dredd, played by Sylvester Stallone. I do prefer the first film and not the second one. I thought the second one was a wannabe, but that's my personal opinion. So I've got the version from the first film, and this is by a company called Virtual Toys. Never heard of them before. But let's crack this figure open and see if it's got some quality to it. All right, folks. I forgot to mention in the intro that I got a custom Judge Dredd figure a few years back, and I had seen it on Sideshow Freaks as a forum post, and the guy was collecting money early, one of those customizers that was building one from scratch, and he was getting a list together, an interest list, and I was one of the I think there were about 50 or so people at the time, and I ended up paying, I think, like $500, $600 for the figure. And as seems to happen lately, some of these popular customs that were done in small batches end up being mass-produced figures from bigger companies. And to me, it kind of cheapens the idea of owning one of these earlier figures. And also sometimes the mass-produced ones are actually a little bit better, so I end up trying to sell the old one on eBay, and so that's the case here. So we're actually going to open this up, and I'm going to compare it to the custom that I paid my $500, $600 for right next to it. So Justice Judge, I am the law, it says on the front of the box. Not much going on in the back. It's got kind of like a Hot Toys type feel to it as far as the quality of the box and the decor. It's almost like one of the Avengers figures here. So you take off the slip, and got a viewing window here. I like when figures do this, so you kind of get a sneak preview of what you're getting, because as we know, some of the manufacturer photos from when they project the figure to be released don't actually match the figure once it actually comes out. The prototype doesn't quite match. So it's nice to be able to see the figure that you're getting and not just the one that you think you're getting. There we go. And I actually got a good deal on this. I paid $300 even from a collector's, I guess, flea market, you could call it. They have trading cards, action figures, old vintage toys, baseball cards, all kinds of crazy stuff. And I thought I paid a decent rate. I mean, I saw cheaper than that afterwards. It was too late by then. All right, so let's take a look at this. It's got a good weight to it. There's a lot going on here. Love that new figure smell. So, it smells like plastic and chemicals. I love it. Pretty nice. Yes, the first thing I noticed is that they went out of their way to get a proper body for this one, because he does have a pretty muscular figure, and they didn't just go with any body. They got one that was appropriate. The detailing on the outfit is good. Velcro attached there. You got the chain right here. Everything's pretty sturdily fixed. I don't know how I feel about this holster. This holster's kind of bothering me. Seems kind of cheap. The boots are good. They're all single unit right here. There's no separate parts to it. I will say the knee pads are a little bit loose, and the straps are not adjustable, and they're plastic. So I might have to do some custom modification to that so that they aren't just kind of loosely resting there. They're kind of dangling. The head sculpt itself, I'm pretty impressed. It's got the blue eyes that that he had in the film, and you could definitely tell it's him. It's not some wannabe looking Stallone sculpt. This is the real deal. So that's good. Got one hand here. Now here's the head sculpt with the helmet. It looks like, okay, the head's not removable. I could see in there that the eyes are sculpted, but I don't know, maybe that's just to catch some glare if you're shining a light on the helmet and you see through the mask that you actually see some eyes in there. But I could tell through the bottom that they are sculpted and painted, but the head doesn't look removable. But I do like the look of this, and I appreciate that they offered both the helmeted version of the head and the one with the helmet off, so you could get the full Stallone look. There's the weapon right there. No moving parts there, but everything looks true to cinema. I like it. I thought the base that it came with is a little gaudy. It's a little too much for me. Some of you might like this, but it's just I just like a plain base, maybe with the standard nameplate with the name of the character. I don't know. To me, this is overdoing it, especially if I try to fit multiple figures on one shelf. I may be trying to conserve space by not using something like this. So there's the stand for that. And then you have his vest. So pretty simple there. Well, let me pause the video to try to get this thing on. Not as simple as I thought. All right, so there he is all put together now. And I gotta say I'm impressed because the straps on the side are actually magnetic. So it secures behind the front plate pretty nicely when you're trying to slip it over the arms. The only thing is that all these chains dangling kind of get in the way. It starts attaching to the magnets. But the heads are really easy to switch off. And the gun fits in the holster. As much as I don't like that holster, because this clear piece of sculpted plastic, it looked kind of cheap. It does do what it's supposed to. It keeps the gun steady in there. I would, at this point, I'd say I would like to have seen a few more hand options. There is only the two hands that it has affixed to it, and then the one extra hand. And these knee pads that are just sort of dangling there. I would have liked to see something a little bit better with that, as far as some options to tighten it up as you feel necessary. But I'm pretty impressed with this figure overall. Now let's compare it to the one that like I said, I paid almost $600 for. And right now I have it in a bag, and it's kind of in pieces because it came as a sort of a kit that you had to put the whole thing together. And it was hand painted, and as a result, subject to chipping on the paint. There's the boots. All right, so the piece, the chest piece came in two sections, and so you have to like glue the back together, and then there's this piece that sort of dangles there, and that fell off. So it's just kind of a mess. Also the outfit underneath, although I think it fits a little bit nicer, it's falling apart as I'm handling it. It fits a little nicer. It doesn't have the detailing that the other one does. So the head sculpt, it comes in these sections. The head wasn't actually painted. So that was one mistake, because the idea is that you're not supposed to have the head exposed. This kind of, Oh my God! I'm gonna try to fix this up a bit and put it on eBay, and but it's kind of a mess at this point. I definitely overpaid for this, and I actually tried to cancel it early on, and the guy freaked out on me saying, "You can't cancel it just because there's a manufacturer that's mass producing it for half the price. We have a deal." And so yeah, I got guilted into following through on that transaction, but. The gun on this one, you have a separate gun, but then you also have a sculpted hand with the gun sculpted into it, so it's not removable. And yeah, I'm gonna have to figure this out with some glue and try to salvage reselling this thing on eBay. I'm definitely gonna keep this one. So thank you, Virtual Toys, for your awesome Judge Dredd figure. And I'm going to give this one I'm going to be a little bit generous. It's 8.75 out of 10. They did a good job. It's got a good feel to it, good quality. They chose a really good body type. And besides the shortcomings with the knee pads and the holster, it's overall a very nice figure. See you guys later.